Hi, my name is Jessie Prigge, and today I'm going to talk to you about something that I definitely think is a very common yet very frightening feeling, and that is when you're about to graduate, but you recently realized that your major is not where you see yourself in the long term. So, a little bit of backstory about me: I am a senior about to graduate with my degree in athletic training, and probably about 6 months ago, I started to realize that athletic training is not where I see myself in the long run. I know I love being around sports, but as far as the day to day tasks of athletic trainers, that's just not where I see myself. So to me, this was frightening. I didn't know what to do, didn't know how to tell my parents, didn't know how to tell anybody, and I didn't have a plan, but here I am at this pivotal point in my life, expected to have a plan. So the next points that I'm going to talk through are kind of how I got through the process and how I hope that you maybe can use the same steps if you're in a similar situation. So, the first thing that I kind of needed to realize is that I shouldn't settle. Yes, I am about to graduate with this degree. Yes, it was a privilege to have been chosen to be a part of the athletic training here at Alabama. But frankly, I'm just not happy in the field. And to me, a job, you should always love what you're doing. And if you don't love it, don't settle. So here I was about to be settling for the rest of my life, or I could do something, make a change, and that's what I decided to do. So from that point, after you decide not to settle, I think the next step that you should take is to do your research. I knew I loved being around sports, but what about sports? I wasn't sure. Do I really want to stay into sports, or do I want to completely uproot my life and do something different? Didn't go that far, but I did decide to stay in the sports world, so I started to do my research about different careers that are possible in the sport industry. And that's kind of when I found sport administration. And to me, sport administration is great because there's so many different facets of it that there's a degree in that field could really take me anywhere in the sports industry. After I did my research and decided, sport administration is really what I want to be in, I needed to say, okay, well, how do I get there? And frankly, an undergraduate degree in athletic training just wasn't going to cut it. I knew I needed to go to grad school. That was the plan even when athletic training was on the table. So then I started looking and doing my research on sport administration master's programs. And that's when I found Belmont. And that was really what piqued my interest in sport administration and the opportunities to kind of learn where I fit in sport administration through internships, which would allow me to do research in the actual fields to kind of see which fit me, which didn't fit me, which I knew I would not like, and where I could see myself in the long run. And so through doing that research, I kind of came up with this plan in my head. Yes, it sounded great, perfect, sounded like I knew I had my life put together. But I hadn't told anybody about this plan yet. These feelings probably started in August, and I started doing my research probably around December, early January, but I hadn't told anybody. And to me, that was the hardest part about this whole process. Here I am, I had my life planned out basically since I was in the 8th grade. I knew I wanted to be an athletic trainer. And so anything different just felt like I had been living a lie. And it was really hard for me to verbalize that to people and tell them, I'm not happy and this is what I want to try now. And so from that point, after I had created this whole plan, I knew that this was real, this was going to happen. I need to tell people, and I need to get their opinions and see how they can best help me. So the first person that I told was my best friend, who's actually in the Masters of Sport Management program here at Alabama. And I was like, Cam, I don't want to be an athletic trainer anymore. And he said, okay, what do you want to do with your life? And I was like, I know I want to stay around sports. And before I had said anything else, he goes, you need to get into sport management, sport administration. He goes, the field is so big, you would find something that you love, and you get to stay around sports, which I know is important. And from that moment, I knew that, sport administration is really where I need to be. And so I took his advice, and, with his help, I started looking at the more programs. I showed him Belmont, and he goes, Jessie, this sounds like you have a plan. He goes, have you told your parents? And that was the hardest part for me, because here my parents were. They had put me through 3-4 years school at Alabama, basically paying my way, and I felt like I'd let them down. And to me, it was hard and scary to admit that to them. Athletic training was something, like I said, I'd wanted to do since I was in the 8th grade, and they'd put everything behind me. They talked to football coaches when I was in high school to make sure I was on the sidelines. They brought me on campus tours at Alabama, College of Charleston, anywhere. And a part of me felt like I was letting them down. But something Cam said reminded me, and it kind of goes back to my first point, don't settle. You want to be happy with what you're doing. And your parents will kind of just get behind you on everything else. And he was completely right. I told my parents, and they were a little shocked at first, and they questioned where these feelings were coming from. But after I fully explained everything to them, they were completely behind me, and they were surprised that I had already had a plan in place. So, long story short is that this is a terrifying time. I know I'm about to go out there and supposed to make an effort to change the world, right? That's what everybody is telling us to do at our college graduations. But I can't really make those changes if I'm not happy with what I'm graduating in. So I decided not to settle. I want to make myself happy because I know if I'm happy, then maybe truly I can make a difference in the world someday. So after deciding not to settle, I did my research. I came up with a plan which I got myself, my family, and my friends fully behind. And through talking to people, I actually feel a lot better about the whole situation. And the whole situation became less scary. So I think if you've learned anything from this speech, is that in order to be happy, you got to put a little bit of work in, but you got to remember not to settle. Thank you.